All right, welcome. We're about to jump into a super important topic, solar operations and maintenance best practices. So whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro looking for a refresher, this is going to be your go-to guide for keeping these solar assets running perfectly.
Okay, let's get right into it. You see these massive solar farms, right? They're out there, soaking up the sun, generating all this clean power. But here's the thing, they don't just run themselves. There's a whole science and a ton of hard work that goes into making sure they perform at their absolute best, day in and day out. So let's unpack what it really takes to keep these powerhouses humming.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the big why O&M is so critical. Then we'll hit safety, which is always number one. From there, we'll get into the maintenance playbook, your weekly routine, how to fix things when they go wrong, and wrap it all up with the golden rule. Document everything.
All right, first things first. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of how to do the job, we need to be crystal clear on why we're doing it. A solid O&M plan isn't just a nice to have, it's completely non-negotiable for a healthy solar plant.
You know, at the end of the day, it all boils down to these four things. Everything you do in the field, every check you make, it's all about squeezing every last watt out of that plant, making sure it's almost never offline, keeping everyone safe, and doing it all without breaking the bank. That's what professional O&M is all about.
Now, let's shift gears to what is, without a doubt, the most important part of your job. And that's making sure that you and everyone else on site goes home in one piece at the end of the day. This is the part where there are zero shortcuts. Your first line of defense, always, is your personal protective equipment, your PPE. We're talking about very real dangers out there. Electrical shock, arc flash. These things are no joke. Having the right gear and actually using it the right way is what stands between you and a really, really bad day. And that brings us to the next critical safety procedure, lockout/tagout. You'll hear it called LOTO. This isn't a guideline. It's not a friendly suggestion. It's a mandatory, life-saving protocol for making absolutely sure that equipment is de-energized before you even think about starting work. And this is the process. You follow these 5 steps every single time. First, you identify the hazard. Then, you isolate the energy source. You put your own personal lock and tag on it. And then, and this is the step people forget, you verify that it's actually dead. Test it. Make sure. Only then do you proceed with the work. Okay, with safety locked in as our foundation, let's get into the maintenance playbook. The goal here isn't just to be a firefighter running around fixing things after they break. The real goal is to stop them from breaking in the first place. And a huge part of that is knowing the difference between these two ideas. Preventative maintenance is your regular, scheduled checkup. You know, you change the oil in your car every 5,000 miles. But predictive maintenance, that's the smart stuff. That's when you use data to see a problem coming and you step in to fix it before it fails. It's a total game changer. All right, now let's get our hands dirty. We're talking about the practical, on-the-ground tasks. This is the weekly routine, and trust me, being consistent here pays off big time when it comes to the plant's performance. Think of this as your Bible in the field. It's got everything you need in one spot. Your checklists, your troubleshooting guides, your log sheets. This is the kind of thing you should have laminated in your truck, ready to go at all times. It's your single source of truth out there. So every single week, these 5 things need to be on your radar. You've got cleanliness, and yeah, using the right tools matters. You've got a shade audit, looking for stuff like new tree growth or even just bird droppings. You're constantly monitoring the performance ratio, or PR. That's your plant's health score. You're doing safety checks, like making sure your grounding is solid. And of course, you're writing it all down. Now I want you to look at this number, 3%. If you see the plant's performance ratio drop by more than 3%, that's not just a little dip. That's your trigger. That's the alarm bell going off that says, hey, something's not right here. It's the signal that it's time to stop just monitoring and start investigating. So that alarm bell goes off. What do? Well, you put on your detective hat. This is all about learning how to diagnose problems fast and how to get from seeing a symptom to implementing the right fix. And this matrix, this is your best friend when you're playing detective. It's designed to help you connect the dots. So let's say you see a hot spot with your thermal camera. That's the symptom. The matrix immediately points you to possible causes, like maybe it's shading or a faulty diode, and then it tells you the next logical step, like doing a more detailed scan or a diode test. It's a roadmap from problem to solution. You know, there's a saying in the field,
The job's not done till the paperwork's done. And it is absolutely true. Documenting everything creates a history for that plant, and that history is priceless for managing it over the long haul.
So, what does a good log entry look like? Well, it's all about the details. We're talking about the specific module number, the date, who did the test, the actual results you got, and exactly what action you took. That level of detail isn't just busy work. It's your proof of work, and it's a roadmap for anyone who comes after you. And really, it's not just about one logbook. A truly professional O&M program has a whole ecosystem of records. You've got your work orders, your signed-off checklists, those detailed logbooks, and a running tally of your key performance indicators or KPIs, like that performance ratio we talked about. And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. Operations and maintenance is so much more than just fixing broken stuff. It's about being a proactive manager of a really valuable asset. See, all that performance data is telling a story every single day. The real question is, are you listening? Are you reading that story and acting on it?